The interesting part about that comment about life expectancy tables, Tom, is everybody's worried about interest rates and interest. Should I buy it now? If are interest rates too low? Are they going to move up? And I've been saying this just like you, Tom. We might be the only two people on the planet saying it. I think there's as much risk on life expectancy tables changing against you as there are interest rates.
Yeah.
Correct.
And for interest rates, I look at the 30-year U.S. government bond, because these are the bond market is the smartest market in the world.
You don't look at the 10-year. You look at the 30.
The 30, because 30 inflation hurts the 30-year bond the most. And so, like, if we're going to have inflation, if interest rates are going higher, you're going to see it first in the 30-year bond, because those people are buying something for 30 years. Like, would you want to lock in your money right now for 1.9, I think it's 1.96% today for 30 years? That's what the bond market, the smartest people in the world are putting their money for 30 years at 1.93% interest. And so that's telling me that interest rates are not going up. I mean, if interest rates are going up and if inflation was here, that 30-year bond would not be at 1.9%. It would be at 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9%, because those people have the biggest risk. If inflation hits and interest rates spike, all those people who bought annuities at bought government bonds at 1.94%, they're all going to lose a ton of money. Yeah, you can lose a ton of money in U.S. government bonds. If interest rates go up, the value of bonds goes down. But what that's telling me is the smartest market in the world is loading up on these bonds at 1.9 something %, and they don't see interest rates going up for over 30 years. So, who am I to go against the smartest market in the world? I don't see interest rates moving much. I'm not saying they couldn't go up. Sure. They go up and down, but I don't see, I'm on the record saying the 10-year government bond will go negative before it ever hits 4%. And you can hold me to that.
I agree with you.
The world is still facing deflation, not inflation. And people don't understand that. They're reading the papers and we see prices going up, but the world is still facing deflation risk.
Well, also, Tom, we're in blue water strategy here. Blue water means we've never seen it before. So the last time money was printed like this was, I think, World War II. And some people can say COVID's the war. I agree with that. But we've never seen this. And there's no motivation for the government to raise interest rates on themselves. It'd be like me and Tom and I raising our mortgage rate, if we had one, on ourselves. So I agree with Tom. It could go negative. It could go to zero. And if it does, they're just going to print more money. So people that are waiting for that 4-year, 10-year treasury, we might not see that, Tom, in our lifetime.
It's probably decades before interest rates go up a lot. But again, it's the life expectancy that really matters in the annuity. Step number 6 is you must have a plan for long-term care. No retirement plan is complete without a plan for long-term care. It's the one thing most people forget about that can wipe out their entire life's work. And this is very personal to me because both of my parents had Alzheimer's. Both of them went into assisted living. Now, I made them buy long-term care insurance 18 years ago. They didn't want to. It's too expensive. We'll never need it. It's an insurance company ripoff. My dad said all those words to me. I made them buy it. Well, they were both in assisted living, $10,000 a month. Both my parents were teachers up in Minnesota, small towns. There were years my mom rarely made over $10,000. There were many years my dad didn't make over $10,000 a year. And $10,000 a month, I can't imagine the retirement if they didn't have those policies. And for people who say it's too expensive, here's what I have to say. If you think long-term care insurance is expensive, man, you ought to try not having it.
Try paying for long-term care.
Yeah.
And I'm a true believer in that. I do not sell long-term care, but I do refer people to the number one long-term care expert, in my opinion, in the country. And we had a podcast with him, Tom. His name's Jack Lindenberg. And what I like about the new long-term care policies is a lot of them are asset-based, meaning that you're not throwing your money down a rabbit hole. Another misconception about long-term care is, well, I just don't want to pay in, and then I never use it. Well, with the newer policies, whether they're annuity-based or life insurance-based, however you want to look at them, and I can point you to Jack Lindenberg's site if you go to my site at theannuityman.com. I mean, if you don't use it, your beneficiaries will get the money back. So things have changed in the long-term care world. Now, obviously, annuity companies and life insurance companies and health insurance companies, they want to insure young, healthy people, but there are some long-term care products out there. And I think the biggest thing with you mentioning that, and I appreciate you having that as number 6, is people just need to know it's not what you think it is. Kind of like when people say, well, I don't want to buy an annuity because when I die, my insurance company keeps the money. Uh, no, I mean, Tom explained the details of that and mortality credits and how that works. But the same thing applies with long-term care. You can get the coverage, yet control the asset. Any other
Yeah,
thoughts on
yeah,
that?
yeah. Because with the asset-based long-term care, the premiums are guaranteed never to go up. That's
Mm-hmm.
nice.
Mm-hmm.
It can be an emergency fund. Most of them have full money
Right.
back guarantee. So if you need your money out, you get your money out. If you
Sure.
don't use it and you die, it normally about doubles as a death benefit, tax-free to your heirs. And if you do need it, it's almost triple the bucket of money for long-term care. So it's an emergency fund. It's a legacy fund for your family, and it's a long-term care fund, and it all grows tax deferred, and so those are, and the premiums are guaranteed never to go up. So those would be, if people are worried about their long-term care insurance, that might be a great option.
Hey, Stan the Annuity Man here. Did you like that little taste of my podcast, Fun with Annuities? Hey, if you want to see the full version, click the link and watch the whole darn thing. Remember, Fun with Annuities. Live in the reality, not the dream.